EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And now it's 2nd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. Oh, wide open, complete. There he goes left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 72 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Watson now to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Out of the gun, Watson going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, 64 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you can do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
One play has them up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10.
Four.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
Alert. Hey, Alpha. 55. Hey,
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. 61. Match box. Right. In the car.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 39 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they...
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 46. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
In your face.
Watson with a give to Miller. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Here's Watson. To the right side, complete to Miller. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
24. Smith. Hey.
Now Roethlisberger. Going deep for Moncrief. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Watch the screen. Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. 41 Mike. Okay, double it. Mike 41.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Block 80. That's what I do. 50. Hey, echo.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up on a corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Quarter. Hey, wahoo! Check 52. Check the backer, check the backer. These two.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 53 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
Set. 19. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Watch the eye.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Reset. 19. Watching you find. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
From the gun, here's Watson. And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Bang, 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 bang. Alert, alert.
The drive will start with Connor. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd and 15 now. Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. James Washington was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Like 80. 55. Record. Jack 16. Check 55. 5. Check. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back now in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On second down now, it's Connor. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, I 7. No spacing.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Get the ball. Kill.
Hey, 2.
Tighten up.
They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Focus.
Check. Crunch. Check hot route. Hot. Line 55.
8.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Roethlisberger. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a two-score game.
And two, doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Mike. Here we go. Go right in. Mike. Watch the run. They're running it.
A first down throw for Prescott. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Prescott on first down. Looking deep for Elliott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Watch the slant, watch the slant, watch the slant. Kill.
Jack 16. Easy.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Middle.
Stop your body.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
You. Mike 54.
Hey, alert.
Mike 5-4.
Roethlisberger will throw. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Flushed out right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
46. Hey, count.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. Cooper was the intended target.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check. Easy. Solid.
Here's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Get in the weight room. Nicker.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both